Hey YouTube, what's up, and welcome back to another wonderful episode of Vintage Game Finder. It's your boy Newsmaz07, of course, as always, and back again to join us in another episode is Romeo Retro.
How you doing, guys?
And it's good to be back.
Yeah.
We mentioned in the last video, last week or the other week after that, I don't remember, that we weren't going to be doing too many of these because we haven't been picking up as much as we used to pick up. But every time we say that, it seems to work out in the favor of us because we pick up more games. So that works out. Mm-hmm. So it's a good jinx to have. We don't get too many of those. But yeah, we are back, and we have some interesting things to show you. And we're going to go ahead and get started with what we picked up for the NES end of the collection. Let me see. At least one of these is going to be a label upgrade for me, for my collection, and I won't disclose which one it is, but it is a pretty great game to say the least. So we're going to go ahead and let Romeo talk to you about those 3 NES titles we picked up for this week.
Alright, the first one we got in was Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
Very nice.
It's a pretty fun game. It's 2-player, right? We played?
Yeah, 2-player. It's the 2-player. It's before you play, you gotta have a rule of thumb down with the player you're playing with, because it at times, I don't want to say it slows down, but it does get chaotic.
Yeah.
And the enemy AI is all over the place, and regardless, it's still a fun game to play. I mean, if you got a 2-player co-op and you got a friend that's in town or a family member, it's a great game to pick up and play. I'm very sacrilegious when it comes to the Disney games. I hated them as a kid, but I learned over time to appreciate them because graphically they're pretty awesome, and they hold up their value for sure. So that's definitely one that's a keeper for sure.
The second one we got in was Ikari Warriors. Oh man.
Yeah,
this game was rough when we first played it.
I like it, but what keeps me from liking it more is the fact that you have a limited amount of ammo, and I hate that. No game like Ikari Warriors should have a limited amount of ammo. I mean, it should be maybe in the style of Contra, where if you get hit, okay, you lose that weapon upgrade, but there's always a chance you could get back to it. This game, you have a finite amount of ammo, and if you don't have that enough of a good enough amount of ammo, you are screwed. You won't make it past the first level, and I think we got to the second level, I think it was. And
yeah, it was like the second level.
Yeah, like I say all the time, there's harder games than NES hard games, and that's definitely one of them. What else you got?
We got Metal Gear, the first Metal Gear.
Truly a classic.
I think it is the first, right?
I want to say it is, but I'm thinking about Snake's Revenge too.
Well,
so.
Snake's Revenge, but isn't this the same? Isn't this just a different label for Snake's Revenge?
Could be. If you guys know, go ahead and educate us on the comment section. I'm not too privy on it right now, but you know, this is another one of those monumental NES games that a lot of kids I remember growing up with had in their collection. Oh, the dogs, man. No, the dogs one thing, but when you go in the truck and then you come back out, all the enemies respawn. And then there's one area, I think it's in the forest in the beginning. When you come out, the guy's like right there as soon as you exit the truck, and immediately you're taking damage, and
you get spotted immediately.
Yeah, it is frustrating to say the least. So that's what we picked up for the NES end of the collection, and we'll go ahead and show you my lonely PS2 pickup. But a PS2 pickup that, at least in my eyes, is obscure because I haven't come across anything like this yet in the wild. So let's go ahead and take a look. Alright, this week's lonely PS2 pickup is, like I said, a unique one. I found this on social media, and I picked it up probably 30 minutes approximately after I talked to the person. He bought it brand new from the store, and he kind of hesitated to let it go at the price he did, but you know, I talked him into it somehow. So what I picked up is Gun Crisis. Wait, was it?
Time Crisis.
Time Crisis 3. for the PS2. And the reason I say I haven't seen these before is usually you just see the game, or you just see the gun con, or you know, you hardly ever see them together, and to see them complete like this, it's pretty cool. The box is in pretty nice condition. Obviously he paid you know, full retail price because he was the first owner, and it was going for $54.99 at the time, which is not even close to what I paid for it. Like I said, I got a good deal for it. And
I can't wait till we try it.
Yeah, it's definitely a unique piece for the collection. So opening it up, I mean, you got two of these, the gun cons. And I have no idea if this is a complete set or not, but it has the connections, it has the guns, it has a little diagram of how you need to hook it up, and obviously you have the game. So this for the price I paid, which is really good, there was no way I was gonna pass this up. So yeah, we're definitely gonna hook up the PlayStation and check it out, and it will be a fun experience. I think if it's anything like it was in the arcade, it's gonna be good. I know these guns don't recoil, but it's still a really cool piece to find in the wild. And whenever I see obscure stuff like this, I make a beeline. I pick it up because it's definitely a conversation piece, to say the least. So yeah, Time Crisis 3 from NACO for the PS2. You see these at a decent price, pick them up. Alright, last but not least, we're going to show you what we picked up for the Sega end of the collection. And for this week, we are Dreamcast, Sega Dreamcast heavy. And I was not only able to pick up games, I actually got to pick up some accessories too from a viewer, actually a viewer that's local, and he's been watching the videos. His name's Cliff. Cliff, if you're watching, bro, thank you. I appreciate it. It was awesome to meet you, and I appreciate all the support, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. So let's go ahead and show him the games that we got from Cliff.
Alright, we got Sonic Adventure 2, which is by far one of my favorite Sonic games out there. Mainly because of the fact that you can raise childs, and you can do all this thing, and these things to build like your own Sonic character pretty much, and it's pretty cool. I always found it pretty I don't know,
I think it's entertaining.
Yeah,
the fact that Sega, obviously the Dreamcast was the last console for them, and for them to involve their VMU with their their signature mascot was awesome. I at the time I didn't really understand what the child stuff was about, but when you start to think about stuff like Pokemon and Digimon and all that, they were ahead of the curve as far as that goes, because you had to keep these things alive, you had to maintain them, you had to feed them. In some cases, I think you had to bathe them. And
did you?
Yeah. Yeah, they had like a little waterfall on the child level and everything, and they even had a school.
Yeah, they had a karate school.
Yeah,
where they would fight. It was
pretty
cool.
You had a lot of extras with this game, and that's I think that it made the replay value that much better, because it's little details like that. And plus, I think this is the first game in the series too that debuted Shadow, if I'm not mistaken. Sonic games are not what they used to be. I'm not gonna lie to you about that. And if you've seen any of my podcasts, you know how I felt about it too. I mean, Sonic has had a long shelf life. I think he deserves a break, and I think there's so many other IPs that Sega could go after and give him rebirth to, a genesis, if you will. And they haven't been able to do that as of late. So, but still, it's a key game to have for Dreamcast. If you're looking to start your collection, that's definitely one of the bookends that you need to go ahead and do that. What else did you pick up?
We got Fur Fighters. Haven't heard of this one.
Interesting.
Don't know much about it.
I remember seeing it in some of the advertisements in '99 when the console came out, but I never really was moved enough to go ahead and buy it. I was mostly into the fighting games at that point, so still an interesting game. I will be adding it to the collection, of course, because I've never played it before, so it's definitely a welcome addition.
Yeah, it has this nice holographic cover too, which is pretty cool.
I don't think I don't
see much of those.
No, not too many of those, especially on the Dreamcast. What else you got?
We got Star Wars Episode 1, Jedi Power Battles.
that from the back, it looks like it has like a top-down perspective.
Yeah, it does.
There's 2 players, so that's a plus. We gotta go ahead and play that and see how it goes. But I don't want to give it too much positiveness, because I think there might be Jar Jar involved in there.
Oh, of course. Some Jar Jar things.
Who the hell likes Jar Jar? I haven't met the motherfucker that likes Jar Jar, seriously. And if you ever meet somebody that likes Jar Jar, just maintain your distance. He's not that.
Yeah, he's not normal.
Yeah.
And now we got Star Wars Episode 1 Racer.
That one.
The pod racers.
Yeah, that one a lot of people want to consider
It's pretty cool.
a hidden gem for the console. I remember playing the N64 version of it, and I thought it was a fun game. So I can't imagine the Dreamcast version being less fun than the N64, because I'm pretty sure you got ramped up visuals and probably better control. I'm not a big fan of the N64 controller, but I mean, you still make do with it, so you know, I'm excited to add it to the collection. I just need to upgrade the way it's at, because I got it loose. So I will be I will be doing the, let me see, CD to DVD conversion like I've done with the other games you've seen on my Facebook page, which is Vintage Game Find, of course. Shameless plug. And what do you got?
We got Rayman 2.
Yes,
Great
finally.
Escape.
Finally. The first Rayman I have on PS1. I tried to get it on the Saturn. Yeah, I prefer the Saturn version because I like the Saturn controller better, but you know, the one I got was so scratched up. But yeah, Rayman series, I don't want to say it's been underrated, but it hasn't been at the forefront compared to other games in the genre, but it's definitely a welcome addition, and I will be playing it, definitely.
It's 4 players too.
What? 4-player?
This is 1 through 4.
Oh, so there's probably like mini games and stuff that are involved with that. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Another added plus to the Dreamcast is you got 4 controller ports, so you don't need to worry about buying a multi-tap or cordless controllers that go to one unit that reads them all or whatever. You have those ports ready. And last but not least, we're gonna show you the accessories we got from our boy Cliff. These are all accessories that I did need, and this is one of them here. It's a complete in-box mouse, an official Dreamcast mouse.
Yeah, it's pretty rare. I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, no, I haven't. I don't remember seeing this at all. I know off the top of my head it works for more than a couple games. You got Spawn, you got Quake. I think it's Unreal Tournament. I'm not sure if that's on the Dreamcast too, but you know, games of that nature that usually accustomed to seeing and playing on PC at that time, you were able to go ahead and do that here. I'm assuming also that you could combine this with the Sega Dreamcast keyboard.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So it's
probably,
it's got uses. So that's not bad at all. I just love, for the right price, of course, picking up stuff like this that's in really good shape. The box for its age, it's in pretty good shape. So yeah, if you got games like Quake 3 Arena or anything like that, you basically need a mouse. That's gonna give you the best control you could ever have for games like that. I mean, that's just my opinion. All right, and to wrap it up, I was able to pick up another Rumble pack for the Dreamcast. You can never have enough of these. Looking back, the Dreamcast should have had enough room with that big plastic casing to support a rumble feature without having this. But I mean, like I said before, Sega was always innovating, especially at that time, and I was just happy they found a way to incorporate a rumble function, because there was a lot of games, especially fighting games, that made really good use out of this stuff. I'm thinking about Dino Crisis as well, that made a really good use of this function as well, especially when you had the jump scares involved. So that always worked. So I'm always happy to have that, especially when it's official Sega stuff. And last but not least, I was very happy. This to me is the main reason I picked up what I picked up from our boy Cliff, and it's I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's a fishing rod, pretty much, for the Sega Dreamcast. Yeah. The port's still in good shape. There's minimal staining. This is working the way it's supposed to. It comes back to center like the way it's supposed to. Just really a item that's in really good shape. after all these years. So it was pretty awesome for me to finally find it. I always wanted one to go ahead and play it with my fishing games, because you have something like this and you have the standard controller, you can't really make the comparison. This gets you more involved in the game more than anything else. And then, like I always say, Sega has been at the forefront of innovation, especially in that time period. Can't say the same nowadays, but when you see stuff like this, and especially when you have something to play it with, it's a great feeling. So this, I have my Dreamcast hooked up. I am ready to play this game. I'm pretty sure you can use it with Sega Bass Fishing. I think there's Marine Fishing, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if there was any third-party games that this was supported on, but you'll be surprised what games you could play with this. I've seen videos.
Shooters?
Yeah, I've seen videos where people played House of the Dead with this.
Yeah.
Soul Calibur, they played with this.
That's
definitely.
That's cool though.
Off the top of my head, you could probably play that Seaman game. You remember that Seaman game?
Seaman game.
So I'm thinking you could use this too. I mean, you just don't know, until you try it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we made out pretty good with the Sega stuff. So I'm always happy to add to that wing of the collection, of course. How do you think we make out?
I thought,
or we made out.
We made out pretty well, especially with Sega, like you said earlier.
Yeah, we put the legwork in. We made the calls.
Yeah.
We actually had some contacts reach out to us too, so that's always an awesome feeling. Like I always say, to me, it's the thrill of the hunt. Making those new contacts, meeting new people, and not even that, you get to know people and what their childhood was like.
Yeah.
Just by them bringing it up. Oh, I used to love this game. I still have this game. I'm gonna sell it to you because I know it's going, somewhere that's gonna be appreciated, and it's not gonna be flipped the next day. And I'm usually upfront with people. I'm like, hey, this is the price, or this is what it's going for in most cases, and it usually works out in our favor. So, all right, well that goes ahead and wraps up this week's pickup. I like to think it was a productive week, right?
Yeah, it was.
I'm gonna go ahead and say right now that we're not gonna find anything next week. That won't be another video next week, but a lot of times the retro gods hear that and they decide to think otherwise. Yeah, blessings are good, definitely. So until then, I'd like to say thanks for watching the channel or watching the videos, subbing, of course, that's always a plus, and sharing the videos too, that's awesome. And it's always a great time when I get to meet people, especially the people that view the video. So again, Cliff, if you're watching the video, thank you, man. I appreciate it. It was great to meet you, and I appreciate all the support. And until next week, guys, God bless.
Stay safe
and happy hunting.